you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Hey YouTube, Dan here from EAPFilmsOfficial, and thank you for tuning in at this live stream. We've got a lot of comments coming through already, so hello everyone for joining the live stream. A bit spontaneous. I hadn't really had any intention to do a live show today, but it occurred to me actually, since I've been back from the Philippines, I've just not really been vocal about anything. I've literally just got back, started editing straight away, and yeah, just haven't really got around to updating you guys. So what is it that I've been up to recently? Well, as I've said, since I've been back, I've been editing all my footage for the vlogs. I've literally shot around 11 to 12 hours worth of video and around 50 hours or so of audio. So it's been one hell of a task to synchronize the video and the audio together, and then having to then arrange my vlogs, you know, topically, I suppose. Rather than have like one giant vlog, I'm going to try and break it up into sort of bite-sized portions. So that's where I am with things at the moment. I've actually edited 7 vlogs at the moment, and I reckon by the end of the whole thing there might be between 15 and 20 vlogs, hopefully. So we'll just see how that develops over the course of the next few weeks. Now, I apologise for how I sound. I have got man flu, so I'm not feeling so great. And I've been coughing quite a lot as well, so if I start spluttering everywhere, don't worry about it. I'm going to be fine. I'm a trooper. I'll survive. And I can't believe it, actually. 3 minutes into this show already, and we've got 127 people watching. So wow, thank you so much. So just to backtrack some of the comments, a lot of highs. People missing me, what I'm up to, where are my vlogs. Yeah, Powerhouse Jazz says, where are your vlogs? They're coming at the end of November. Yeah, and also, sorry about how late it is right now. I know for you guys it's just gone midnight, so I'm sorry if I've woken you up. Antonio has asked if I'm still in the Philippines. Nope, this is very much my room in this house. I left the Philippines last Tuesday, I think. Sorry, the time difference and the flights and all that kind of stuff. I think I left Tuesday. It's just about Tuesday. It was Tuesday near enough midnight, going on Wednesday, and I got back in the UK around lunchtime on Wednesday afternoon. So I've been working on the weekend, recovering from man flu. Well, getting man flu, then recovering from man flu. Sorry about that. Hello, Poppy. And also doing work as well, so I've been getting on with these book trailers, been getting on with these vlogs, been editing weddings as well, so I really haven't had a chance to kind of take a breather and talk to you guys since I've been back. As many of you might know, if you've been on my channel for a while, I've been a bit absent sort of in October time, and the reason for that was down to work. I found that I was on YouTube far longer and with far much more time on YouTube than I should have been. So it meant some of my work was suffering, so I had to like make a conscious choice and say, right, well, you know, my real day job obviously takes more priority than YouTube, so I had to kind of focus more on that. And I did say that I'll be back in November, which is November! Woo! But I am still working on projects. I'm still in the thick of it. So it won't be as frequent as I would hope to have been by now, but I will still be on YouTube. To be honest, I didn't really leave. I'm still getting comments coming through. I'm still reading comments. It's just not as frequent that I respond. And obviously I haven't been filming any reaction videos for a while either, which I do kind of miss. I do want to sort of get back into the swing of things and crack on with some. And you know, if you guys, some of you here might know this, some of you did some reaction videos with me at the meet and greet at Jollibee Saturday, a few Saturdays ago. So that was good fun. I haven't actually listened to the audio yet from that set of reactions, so hopefully it's all okay. And a lot of you have also been requesting for the reaction videos for Regine's concert, which again I haven't got around to editing or even looking at yet, so I don't know how that sounds. I was aware, I don't know how long, maybe 15-20 minutes into the show at the time, that the audio was getting quite distorted, so I had to kind of flick a few settings on my microphone. So I don't know how the first bit's going to sound, don't know how the second bit's going to sound, I don't know how any of it's going to sound. So the worst case is, if my audio from the night is terrible, then I will just re-record it knowing what I was saying. There were times where I was enjoying the show so much that I didn't actually say a lot as well, because I was just so engaged with Regine just being there and the atmosphere, and just kind of almost sometimes forgetting that I've got the microphone on and that I'm having to do sort of live reactions. And also I was conscious that when it was quiet, I couldn't just start rambling on, because there were a lot of people around me who might just get quite annoyed with me constantly talking to myself. So I had to bear that in mind as well. So there's a lot of factors to consider. So it might just be that I end up doing another voiceover knowing what it was all like on the night. Saying that, I haven't seen the second night, and I've seen, I think, part of What Kind of Fool Am I? So it might be that I do another full reaction video on the whole of the second night. So we'll just see how that one turns out as well. What else? My God, there's so much I want to say. So much I want to talk about. Obviously, a lot of what I want to say is going to be in the vlogs anyway, and I think it's still another 3 or 4 weeks away before you guys will see the first vlog. But I know that a lot of you have been asking, what I said to Regine. How did I meet her? Did I manage to give her my gift? Did I meet Morissette? What did we talk about? What was it that I showed her that she was like, I'm so proud of you? People have been debating this one. If I showed her meeting Balut, whether I showed her a picture of me, I don't know. Someone even suggested that maybe me and my wife are expecting a baby, and I showed her a picture of, I don't know, a baby scan or something. I'm not sure what you expected me to show her, and that's why she was proud. But no. I'm not going to... Someone has actually guessed it right. I think somewhere over on Shay's channel. So if you really want to know it, you can find out on there. But otherwise, I'm going to say shush and let you guys witness it as it happens. I will also say, for those who are watching now, which, considering the amount of subscribers I have, is only a fraction of you, but I thought it might be worth saying anyway. The concert, the production of the concert, of Regine's concert, wasn't allowing any cameras, professional DSLRs. What else was there? Was it laptops? Tablets, I think it was. Yeah, so basically you couldn't take all that stuff in. So unfortunately, I don't have the camera that I used to film all my vlogs in the Philippines. I didn't take with me to the concert, which in hindsight I kind of wish I did and took the risk, because they do have body scanners and they do have security at the door, but I don't think they would have cared about my camera looking back on it. So unfortunately, what I did film on that evening was on a phone, so it's not great. And the meeting with Regine is not good either. Unfortunately, the quality of the video is not even HD, it's a much lower quality. I mean, I'm grateful I have something at all, so I'm just pleased with that, but unfortunately it doesn't really live up to the rest of the quality, so hopefully you can bypass that and not care so much. But that's all we've got, I'm afraid, of Regine. But everything else I think was shot with my regular camera, so that's all good. Excuse me. Right, so a lot of comments from you guys. Sorry I've not been answering any of these. Comment from my vlogs. Regine Tabora is getting a bit wishful thinking here, saying thanks for the night you spend with me when you're here in Manila. Okay. A lot of people missing me here. Oh, and just so you know, guys, as well, I am planning on doing Alissa Bonabra and all the Morissette performances from Wish as well next time I do my reactions, so when I get around to doing those, I will let you guys know. What else? From Bahrain, Agnes Lucio. Get well soon. Yeah. I don't know whether you can tell. I mean, when I talk to you guys on YouTube, I'm trying to be a bit more upbeat because it might make me feel a bit better. But actually, when this camera goes off, I'll be like this afterwards. I'm dying. You should have seen me this morning. Oh my god. I'll tell you what, it's amazing what a shower can do. Raynan Garcia has asked, how was the R30 concert? Yeah, it was real cool. Do you know what? These are the things, right? I don't know what I filmed because I haven't got to the footage yet. But if I haven't mentioned it before, I'll probably mention it now. R30 was just insane. I mean, earlier in the day, I did a meet and greet at Jollibee, and we did some reaction videos. One of them was for Regine, and I still burst into tears. Then, you know, I forget what song it was. I think it was "What Kind of Fool Am I?" And it was just very overwhelming. And it occurred to me at that moment that I'm actually seeing Regine that very evening, and the excitement behind that. The fact that after all this months of planning, after a year and a half of seeing Regine, that finally I was going to be there, seeing her live, and that was something that I didn't really take a step back and like appreciate. I was just like, yeah, I'm going to a concert, but just just to know that I was physically going to be in that room and physically be with all these people on the night that she was performing, where no one else in the world would have seen that performance until that night with me. That was really exciting. And before the lights started dimming down and the music started kicking off, the atmosphere was, you could just feel it. It was electrifying. And then the lights went down, the music started, and the stage that you've seen the videos, you'll know that the sort of the two sides of the stage kind of started lifting up, sort of the background panel things, screens, whatever they are. Excuse me. They started lifting up and revealing Regine and her dance crew as well, and she sang "Call Me." And for the first 10 or 15 minutes of her opening, there would have been about 2 or 3 songs I think she sang. I was overwhelmed. I couldn't say anything. I knew I was filming it. I think I was filming it. I was filming it on my phone, and I knew I was filming my reaction on my microphone. But I couldn't say anything because I knew that when I started to talk, I had a lump in my throat the whole time. I knew when I started talking, it would just kind of splutter out, and I'd just start streaming down my face, loads of tears. And I thought, I can't do that. I need to calm down and compose myself and really just relax. But I was so excited, and I was literally shaking with excitement, and I was so overwhelmed for the first 10 minutes. I was like, oh my god, I'm actually here. And Regine is actually there. That was something that will never leave me at all. I was so excited. And I can see a lot of you guys now talking about... Oh, hang on. Someone just said Queen Regine wasn't supposed to go down during the Tuing Mulan. Probably pronounced that wrong. I think she went down to the audience because she saw you in the aisle seat, hence that wave. I don't know. I mean, from the stage, she was. I mean, she was close, but she wasn't like. If she was, she's obviously concentrating on the moment and performing and not screwing up. That I don't think she would have remembered I was there. But that said, she did wave at, I think maybe once or twice before she waved at me. But I had a camera crew kind of just off for me, so she wouldn't have walked further than that anyway. But I knew that I knew being on an aisle seat would be my advantage because I look very different to everybody else. I don't look Filipino, so I'll stand out in the aisle a bit and hope that she sees me. And I think she did because she looked over, she smiles, then starts waving. You've seen the trailer, you know what I'm on about. So that was really exciting. I'll tell you what, when she did that, you'll see the camera. The footage, she'll wave at me, then the camera sort of shakes because I turned to Lelaine and I was like, she waved at me, and we sort of high-fived and had a hug. It was just amazing. It was so exciting. And then after the show, Oh my god, after the show, everyone starts flocking towards the stage. I end up down by the big barriers where production and the camera crew and the security and everybody else, they're all kind of behind there. And luckily, there was a few people in production who recognised me, and they came over for a selfie, which I thought was amazing. And I said, like, is there any chance you could get me past this barrier? And they spoke to somebody who then had to authorise it, and it just got a bit kind of weird. And they was all speaking Tagalog, so I had no idea what was going on. I had people behind me, just other fans who knew who I was, who's also fighting my corner. And I was just there like, I don't know what's going on, but it looks like it's going to be good. Because the fact is, they're not saying an outright no, they're just kind of like, they're talking. Talking gives me hope. Hope is all I need. And then, a few moments later, me and Elaine get through, and we're like, this is amazing, we're actually in the production bit. And we had to wait around for a little while, and again, had to authorise my presence with other people, and then with other people. Bear with me. I think I need to go and get a drink. Hang on a sec, guys. I'll come back to the story. Trust me, it's worth the wait. I'll play an advert for the moment. Hang on. Where are we going to go? We'll play this one. Okay, I'm back. I'm feeling a little bit better. Right, so we get to security, and they wouldn't let me through at all. There's two big guys in black suits stood by this corridor, and I thought we were allowed through at one point, and I was like, okay, let's just start walking through. And they stopped me to say you can't go through, and I was like, damn, this is real tight, you know. And then I managed to bump into a guy called Miko, who I didn't know, and he knew me, and he was like, oh, great to meet you, took a selfie with me, and he said, I borrow a set's makeup artist, and I went, you are kidding me. I said, can you get me backstage or anything like that? Nothing ever came from it, but he, you know, it was nice to meet Miko, we exchanged details, and it's really good to know him. And then, someone from production came out of this corridor where the security was standing, and spoke to me, and to cut a longish story short, we get ushered down this corridor. And they were saying to me, oh, Regine can't talk at the moment, she's on a voice rest, performing the next day. My god, this man flu's killing me. Hang on. Oh, jeez. Maybe I should give up the live show. So, yeah, we walked down this corridor, and there's a few rows of people each side of this corridor, and I thought, oh, there's a queue to go and see Regine, she's in a makeup room or whatever. And I stand by this person, expecting them, you know, the queue to start to go down or whatever. And they said to me, oh, just, you know, and they kind of like showed me the direction to walk in, and I looked up, and Regine was just stood right in front of me, basically. She was like about a few meters from me, and I was like, oh my god, how have I been so blind? And I went over to her, and because I wasn't expecting her to be there at that moment, I didn't prepare myself mentally, and I just broke down. I just started sobbing my eyes out. It's so pathetic. I just started crying, and I was like, I can't believe this is happening. And I said to her, like, thank you for seeing me. You know, really, I'm so grateful. She said that she hoped I enjoyed the show, and I gave her a hug because at that point I couldn't speak. Similar sort of scenario as the start of the show where I had a lump in my throat, I couldn't talk because I knew that if I did, I'd start blurting. But I thought, well, I couldn't waste not talking to her, so I just had to try and get something out, tears or not, you know. And I gave her my gift, and then she introduced me to Ogie and Michelle and Layla. I met Diane, Decca. I met the guys from RB Friends as well, so I met quite a few people. And then we said our goodbyes, and that was it. And I was like, wow, in less than a minute, all this emotion came over me, and I don't know where that time just went. It just completely vanished so fast. But that was like one of those moments where you kind of have to watch it back on video because it happened so fast, a bit of a blur for me, that my only recollection, like, to remember every single detail is with that video. One thing that did surprise me was how short Regine was. I thought she would be much taller, but she's actually quite a petite woman. But she was also very beautiful as well. I found that with Morissette and Katrina as well. They're all... I mean, Katrina Velarde was real small. I was like, wow, you're a tiny little thing, you know. But she was so lovely, and so was Morissette. Yeah, everybody I met was just wonderful. And in fact, I can say that about everybody I met, whether it's you, any of you guys who met me at the arena, or meet and greet, or wherever, whether it's Uber drivers, hotel staff, airport staff, just anybody that I came into contact with. Everybody I met was absolutely lovely. They're so friendly, so warm and welcoming. And that kind of made everything real special. It was so nice to, like, to be so welcomed and supported as well. Sorry I keep coughing, guys. I do really apologise for that. Like I said earlier, it's been a while since I've updated you guys with something, so I just figured that, you know, I would do one now, despite me feeling a little bit under the weather with man flu. Oh, God. So I'm just going through some of your comments. I mean, if I start scrolling through these, obviously on the corner here. Nope, this way. Nope, that way. Yes, here. Honestly, it's all mirrored and back to front for me. But this comment box here will start scrolling as well, so I don't want to lose track of this for you guys, and also for me. But Happy Keita says, would you ever plan to visit the Philippines again? Do you know what? This is something I'm planning at the moment. We're trying to find a reasonable time in our lives to plan this trip, because we want to start a family at some point, and it's like, well, we don't want to go to the Philippines while we're pregnant. I don't want to go to the Philippines when we've had a baby, because it's just money and all sorts. So it's a case of how do we fit the trip around that aspect of our lives. So we're looking at, I don't know how feasible it's going to be, but we're thinking about May next year. That's best case, but it's probably highly unlikely. But otherwise, we're looking at probably April or May 2019. And we'd spend 3 weeks out into the Philippines. We'd probably do Manila for 3 or 4 days, head off to the south to Cebu, Boracay, Palawan. Did I say Cebu? I can't remember whether I said Cebu. But basically, just kind of do the South Islands and do all the beaches and all that kind of stuff. So it's definitely going to be on the cards. For those of you who follow me on other social media platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, you'll know that I was travelling with some Filipinos during my stay in the Philippines, Lalaine and Mark. So we'd be doing the 3-week trip with those guys. Again, hopefully all things considered. Best case scenario next year or the year after. So we'll do it as a big group, which will be quite nice. So if once we've actually got some dates kind of finalised and booked, then we can start looking at meeting you guys again, and celebrate doing something else. I'm also considering coming back in February next year for Morissette's concert. I'm still working on how that's going to work for me. I haven't quite decided how I'm doing this, but it's something I'd like to. I mean, you know, it's a first major concert, a solo concert, and of course I'd love to see the show. I just need to work out whether I can feasibly do it with, you know, finances, work schedule, life stuff. You know, so I need to make sure that I can coordinate that correctly, and, you know, all being well, I'll be back in February as well. Jenny Salad said Miko makeup artist. Donnie Mori. I'm guessing that you just confirmed what I've said about Miko being Mori's makeup artist. And funny enough, when I actually met Morissette on the Sunday, the day after Regine's concert, I did see Miko again, so it was nice to kind of catch up in those 24 hours and stuff, you know. Marisa said, can you please show us your R30 album? Yeah, sure. Da-da-da-da! It's not signed. I didn't get it signed, but it's pretty cool. There's a poster here. Like, I think it's like a two-way poster, which is kind of cool. So here's my album. And I'm back in the room. Johnny here says, how did you meet Begoy? This is quite a funny story. I did a few reaction videos for his performances on Wish. I think One Day was one of them. True Colours, I think, was another. And he followed me on Twitter and just to thank me for reacting to his videos. And then one day he messaged me privately and said, Dan, I'm releasing a new single called I Don't Want to Go. Could you react to it? So I was like, wow, this is pretty cool. So I reacted to the video, which you might have seen on the channel. And I sent him a link back and said, here's my reaction video. And then we just sort of stayed in touch, and we had a brief conversations back and forth now and again, how we want to meet up and find time for each other and things. And then when I was due to go on the Wish bus, a few days before then, I found out that he was going to be on the Wish bus after me, and I was like, of all the people I could have had on the Wish bus, it was Begoy. So I met Begoy on the Wish bus, and we just hit it off straight away. We had so much fun. And then we were going to go out that evening, have dinner at his restaurant or something, and just have a good evening. But by the time we got back to the hotel, got changed, it was very late and we're quite tired. So we decided to call it a night and meet up the next day. So around the lunchtime, we met up for dinner at Greenbelt. We went for dinner at, God, I can't remember the name of the restaurant now. It's on Instagram, I think, anyway. So we went for dinner, and then we went out for a go-karting session. Kicked his ass. Loads, but we had such a good time, and he's such a nice guy as well. If you ever get a chance to meet Begoy, he's just the nicest chap you ever meet. Jimson says, what can you say about a performance tribute to a father? Do you know what? When Regine was doing her performance tribute to her father, and he appeared on the video behind, on the screen behind her, it was so touching and so heartbreaking. And then the one thing that kind of pulled my heart out was when he started singing part of the song, and then Regine live was singing the next part of the song, and it was like they were singing a duet, but through the screen and in reality. It was the way it was done was amazing, and that really made me. I honestly, I was so it was so hard to like to not cry, but I couldn't help it. I was just thinking, do you know what? Everyone else is probably crying, and I could just feel the tears building up in my eyes. It was so sad, and it was so beautifully done as well. I've never seen anything like that before, like an interaction with a video like that. So it was inspiring, but very beautiful, well executed. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was amazing. Abre Los Oyos, hopefully I've pronounced that right, says, R30 album that you almost forgot to claim. You are correct. On the night I met Regine, I spent so long, about an hour and a half or something, going down to the front, waiting around for her, actually going to meet her and stuff, that I left on such a high that me and Lelaine forgot to claim our CDs. So the next day, we went back to Moa to go and claim the album, and obviously we couldn't get back in there because our tickets weren't valid for that evening. But we had a chat with security on the door, and they, again, kind enough let us through, and managed to get someone on production to go in to merchandise, whatever, to go and get our CDs and come back with them. So it very nearly didn't happen, but we're quite lucky, and yeah, it sits on my shelf now. Hideyoshi Saito says, what was the favourite thing you experienced with your stay in the Philippines besides Regine's concert? Oh, man. There's a lot of things that I loved about my trip. So many highlights. But I've got to say, well, I can't pinpoint one thing specifically. Pardon me, one thing specifically, but I can kind of say a few things that really made my trip extremely special and unforgettable. The first thing, or first things, was meeting Regine, Morissette, Katrina, and Begoy. Because I've done so many reaction videos between them all, and to meet them all was just incredible, and they were all so lovely. I think Katrina was probably my biggest surprise, because I didn't know she was going to be there. I genuinely didn't know Katrina was there. I had a text on the morning, sorry, on the afternoon on Sunday, saying that Morissette was going to be at SMX. So luckily I was nearby. I think I was by Moa at that point, getting my album. And then I went over to SMX, waited around for Morissette, and then I heard somebody singing. I didn't know who it was because they were behind these big doors. It was a bit muffled, and I thought maybe Morissette's performing now, and then I'll see her after the performance. And it was Go the Distance, and I was like, I need to listen to this. So I put my ear against the door, listening for Go the Distance, you know. And then somebody from Marinatic said, oh, that's Katrina Velarde, and I was like, no. Oh, this is going to be great. So I listened for it, and I gotta say, it was a better rendition of Go the Distance than the version she did on Wish, which I thought was some achievement. Anyway, so the performance finished, she sang another few songs and that, and I was just chatting outside to people outside these doors. And then the doors opened, and someone said to me, oh look, Katrina's here, and I turned around, and Katrina was coming out of the doors with her manager and a few other people. And I don't know what exactly happened, but somebody went up to her and spoke in Tagalog, and all I heard was Dan Reactor YouTube. And I was thinking, obviously they've just pointed me out, and she looked at me, and you've seen the video, oh my god! I did not expect her to react that way. I didn't, because the thing is that with Morissette and Regine, we've had some correspondence back and forth on Twitter. You know, we kind of, I'd like to think that they knew I was going to be there. But Katrina and I have never had any conversations. She didn't know I was going to be there. I didn't know she was going to be there. So the surprise on her face when she saw me, and she said to me, I watched your reaction, thank you so much for doing the video. And I was like amazed that she's not only watched my video, but actually knew who I was. But she was so genuinely surprised to see me. That was so lovely. So as stories go, meeting those the singers was a highlight for me, but Katrina was the biggest surprise for both of us. My next highlight, I would say, that's a long story, wasn't it? I'm sorry about that. My next highlight, I guess, with the Wish bus, because that was just an experience in itself. I felt really good and confident being on the bus. I've done TV and radio before, and I've always struggled with confidence and stuff to say, wondering whether I'm going to come out saying something stupid or whatever. But I think doing these live shows with you guys, doing my YouTube reaction films, I think that's really helped, because it helps me come up with things to talk about, helps me talk to cameras, and I know there's how many of you now watching? 142 of you watching right now. I don't know, there could be 1,000 of you, there could be none of you, and you still look the same to me in this square monitor. So I'll just keep talking, and we'll just see what happens. So being on the Wish bus was a great experience. And meeting Robin as well he was lovely, very nice guy. And I think my third highlight was Project Pearls, going to the charity, helping the children, with brain booster activities, with designing posters about the United Nations. I think it was something about, it was celebrating the United Nations Day or something like that, maybe when it was founded or something, like some sort of anniversary, I think. So we were doing about love and friendship and joy, and just uniting people, and kind of something like that. The gist was about the UN anyway, and what it means to people and stuff. So trying to communicate with children who don't understand any English. I spoke very little Tagalog, so I was probably said hello and what my name was. That's about it, really. So trying to communicate was quite difficult, but luckily I had Lalaine, who was able to translate a few things for me, and we were just designing posters and that. And just, it doesn't matter what language you speak or where you're from, as long as you bring happiness to people, I don't think it really matters. That enough translates all over the world. That's a universal sign of happiness, isn't it? A smile of a child. So that for me was probably the third highlight of my trip, just making children happy and hopefully making some sort of difference to their lives. Oh, there goes the dog. Pops! Come here, Poppy. What's she whining at? Come here. She's gone mad. There's nobody there. Poppy! Come here. One sec, guys. Come here. What are you barking at, eh? There's nobody there. There's nobody there. Good girl. Yes. Yes, Poppy. Go on then. Go on then. She's just looking at me like, go on where? Oh, she sat down next to me and she looked, well, I was saying she's lovely, you guys can't see her, but she's just sat here now. She's quite big, otherwise I'd stick her on my lap and you could see her. Okay, so next question. Junie Salad says, just curious, how did you get to that restricted zone in BSA? I was there for a week after you left. Well, my contacts, I had friends over there who were touring me around for the week, Lalaine and Mark. You've probably seen them in my photos on Instagram and that. Mark is a manager at BSA and he can have access to the roof, so he just opened the doors and let me out. Very simple. And that's how I was able to get some of those skyscraper shots as well. You've seen the opening of my trailer. Those clips were from the roof of BSA. I didn't get a drone out, in case you're wondering. Dina Lang, or Dinah Lang, it says, is there any chance for your vlogs to be released earlier than 20th of November? I'd say yeah, except I haven't actually edited them all, so I didn't want to release them earlier and then find myself out of time to edit the rest, so it's given me a chance to edit them now so they're done and they can go out daily. The only other way of doing it is to sign up to the Patreon website. Those who are signed up to Patreon Jesus, I can't speak now. Those who sign up to Patreon get the vlogs on the 17th of November, so it's 3 days earlier. But that is all optional. Some of you are actually saying how you'd wish I would release the videos on YouTube, almost suggesting that it's a Patreon only video. Then they're not. I'm not sure what the confusion lay with that. But just to clarify, all the vlogs are going on YouTube, and all the vlogs are going on Patreon, except all the vlogs on Patreon we're going out 3 days earlier. That's all. So there's no difference in the videos. There's no additional content. It's just that, you know, this block here on YouTube will be here on Patreon. So that's the only difference. Hey Marvin. Yeah, Marvin Hill, who's in the comments, you can see now. He's a guy that helped me out in the Philippines as well. He came to the meet and greet and helped out with that. He came and met me at the airport 3 or 4 hours early. You legend. Or mental case. I'm not really sure which, but I really appreciate it anyway. Drove me to my hotel as well, so thank you for helping me with that. A lot of you are asking me about Jollibee, asking me about balut. I'm going to save these for the vlogs, I think. Save spoiling the content. But just so you know, I did try balut, which was fun. I also tried isaw. Pops, what are you doing? Oi. She's just licking the floor at the moment. I'm not sure why she's doing that. Poppy, what are you doing? There's nothing on the floor, is there? Saying that, dog's sense of smell is actually pretty damn good. And yet she's insisting on licking the floor. What are you doing? Okay. Buddy Lunch says, did you try sisig and San Miguel Light? I did. We had sisig at the restaurant on Friday. We went to Manam Comfort Filipino, which is at Greenbelt 3, I think it is. If you ever get a chance to go to Manam Comfort Filipino, definitely do it. The food there is amazing. What Filipino dish did I like the most? That is a good question. To be honest, I can't remember the name of half of the stuff. The one thing I had the most of, I think, would be pork-related dishes. So anything with pork in it, I guess, would be a win for me. We had Jollibee a few times. We had burgers from the Yum Burger from Jollibee, as well as the chicken as well. I can't remember what we ate most of the time, to be honest. It just seems... I don't know what we ate. Genuinely, I feel like I've skipped loads of meals. I must have filmed it. I'll come back to you on that one, because I really can't remember what I've eaten. But yeah, anything with pork in it is generally pretty good for me. Drop the camera a little bit, there we go. Happy Kid has asked if I tried it. Tried adobo. I had the chance, and by having the chance, I mean the option was there at a restaurant, and I chose not to order it because it's something I've already eaten here in the UK. I made it myself. Had a fellow Filipino live chat with me on Facebook. They gave me a recipe. We cooked it together. So I've had as near as damn as a real adobo without going to a restaurant that I can have. So I've already had that, and I do genuinely love pork adobo. But I decided that I was going to try all new foods while in the Philippines, so I decided to take a miss on that one. I did try Cinegang. Jerome says, am I familiar with the other blogger, Shay? He made a reaction video about my blog about the teaser of the Philippines. I did see it this morning, actually. It made me laugh so much seeing Shay react to my video. It's the first time anybody has reacted to my video, actually. And so I was quite excited. It was exciting just for that fact anyway, but having Shay react to it, of all people, it made me laugh because I knew exactly where this was going. I knew people wanted him to see the video because of Morissette, and I knew they wanted him to be jealous, and he knew that's what they wanted as well. So I was laughing at Shay because I knew that that's what it was all going to be about, and it really tickled me. It made me laugh. I've got a lot of time for Shay. He's a good guy. I genuinely think he's brilliant. So hopefully I'll get a chance to meet him in the future because I'd love to travel around with him actually and vlog together and do all sorts of things. So I think that'd be a good fun. But yeah, I did catch the video anyway to answer your question. I shared out my social media as well. I thought it's definitely worth sharing. It's good fun. Happy Keita says, Adobo Sandwich Vlogger will be coming here next year. I saw that. They actually, I think Gabe reached out to me about a week ago asking me about my trip and just some advice really for the GoFundMe, so hopefully they've took some of that on board as well. Jacob says, hi Dan, saw you on R30 concert. We really appreciate that you came here and watched the concert of the Queen. How did you feel when you saw and talked with Regine? I covered this earlier in this video, so maybe you've not long joined, but when I first, I guess you mean when I actually saw her, like, to meet her rather than just saw her on stage. I just basically cried. I just did not expect it to be there at that moment, and I just sort of broke down and didn't know what to say. So I didn't think I'd react that bad, I'll be honest. I thought I'd actually hold it together and be a bit more manly about it all, but I just turned into a gushing mess. Which oh god, I haven't watched it back yet, like with the proper audio, so I don't know how I sound, but hopefully it'll come across okay. Abrelos Oyos has asked if I tried Kare Kare and Sinigang. I did. I ordered those two very things on the same evening, so I did try those. Very nice. Troy's asked, was I only in the Philippines for a week? I was there for 5 days. I wasn't there for long. That was mainly because, obviously, I knew when the concert of Regine was. I didn't want to arrive the day before the concert because I don't want to be jet lagged. So I tried to find a flight that was a good distance from the concert, either side of it. That was also good on price because I didn't want to get a flight that was going to be really expensive. So I was trying to find the best flight prices and that. So it turns out I was there for about 5 days excluding travel, but a week out of my time with the travel and time and all that kind of stuff as well. Teen has says, why your friend did not go, referring to Ryan. It's a long story. I just had a text on the morning of our flight, it was about 4 or 5 hours before we were flying, saying that he wasn't coming, and I felt like my whole trip was going to come crashing down around me. At that moment, I almost didn't want to go to the Philippines myself. I very nearly backed out of the whole thing because I was like, how can I go on my own? You know, it was scary I've never been so far from home in another country with people I don't, it just seemed like I was being plucked out of thin air and just dropped somewhere random in the world. And being on my own as well, I just had, equipment with me. I just didn't know what I was going to do. And thankfully, there was one of my subscribers in London, Maria. I texted her on that morning and I said, look, I'm going to be on my own. It's not ideal. It's very very last minute. I don't suppose you've got any family or friends that you trust in the Philippines that can just be there for me and help me out. And within like 15-20 minutes, she texted back and said, "Don't worry, I've sorted it." And then came Lalaine and Mark. So when I landed in the Philippines, all my concerns, my worries, anything I was feeling on my journey, because I had a 17-hour flight or thereabouts, thinking this situation over and over and just stressing and worrying and feeling like I don't want to be there. All that went away when I landed and I saw Lalaine and I saw Mark and I saw Marvin, and I felt everything was going to be okay. And it was. I actually had such a great time. I met so many wonderful people, did so many wonderful things, and I'm very, very glad that I came. Marina says, "What can you say about Lucy Torres and husband Richard Gomez on Regine's concert?" I don't know who they are. I'm guessing, are they? There's a picture that was taken of me on Twitter, of me sat down at the concert, and there was a woman and a man walking past me. I presume that might be them. So, if that is them or not, irrespective of that, I don't know who they are, so I have no opinion on them. Although you're very vocal about what you think of them by the looks of it, Matt. And a happy birthday to Brent Nishiguchi. Jimson has asked, what's in the shirt? I don't understand your question. What's in the shirt? What can I say about the Philippine culture? Where do I begin with this? I found it fascinating, the lifestyles of the Filipinos. It's very. I always found when I was out and about, there was a lot of market stalls. The way of living is very different out there. The street food as well is pretty much down every road you can think of. There's always somebody selling something. I found that there was parts of the city where people kept coming up to me asking me for if I want to go on a tour. I can't remember the name of the vehicle, but it's like a motorbike with a little sidecar that you can kind of go in and they drive you around, touring you. The amount of people that ask me for tours is unbelievable. But I get that they need to make a living, but we just didn't have a need for it. I mean, I was with Lalaine, so she was my tour guide, and she was obviously local as well. So they kind of bypassed the fact that I was with her. Maybe you just completely ignored her. They just saw me. I stood at a mile looking like this, very non-Filipino, and gone, "Oh, look, there's a tourist. Let's see if they want to have a tour." But the culture-wise, yeah, I mean, I don't really, music-wise, I don't really listen to any music beyond the concert. The people I found were really friendly. I know a lot of you was talking about how you have to always be vigilant and be wary about people because there might be, thefts. There could be people trying to gain your trust and then either rob you or whatever. I found none of that. I mean, people were friendly, yeah, but we all had a genuine interest in common stuff, like the Regine concert. I found a lot of people spoke to me at the concert. The amount of people that stopped me for a selfie made me laugh. It was nice. I won't lie. I can't lie about that. I genuinely liked how that was going. It's not something that you'd ever experience, I guess. It's one of those you can't believe it's happening to you sort of thing. And I remember walking through. I got into MOA, walked into the lobby, and people were queuing for popcorn and drinks and stuff. and the VIP section was right ahead of you to go into the arena itself, the actual, the room you were in. And I got near the doors, and some guy turned around and was like, "Oh my God, it's you do the vlogging on YouTube, and can I have a selfie?" Yeah, sure. So we had a selfie together, and then all those mates had a selfie with me, and then someone else came over, and it was nice. It makes you feel really good. I don't know. I know how that sounds, but I do this on YouTube because I like to think I bring joy to people's lives, and I only ever see you guys in the comment sections or on Instagram, Twitter, sending me messages, whatever. I never really see you personally. So reading your comments anyway gives me pleasure, but also when I actually met some of you and seeing the faces behind these names and seeing firsthand how much joy I give to people, that makes me feel really good, and it makes me feel good about what I do on here. I never know if what I do is any good. I mean, my subscriber count counts for something, I guess, but you never really know. And meeting people and talking to them and discussing my stuff, it feels really good. It's nice and I'm making a difference somehow to someone's life. I'd like to actually take a moment to mention Elodia. Hopefully she's watching this now. If not, maybe she'll be alerted to it at some point. Because she sort of grew up with Regine, obviously being a big star and stuff, but she was never really a fan of Regine. It was just she knew about her, and she never really appreciated her career and her music and the impact she's had in the world until she came across my videos. What brought her to my channel was the Jollibee reactions, which surprised me, and she subscribed to the channel. And it wasn't until she watched a lot of my other reactions, specifically towards Regine, that then she realised that she was missing out, and she wished she'd kind of took it all in at the time. So she's kind of, trying to gain back the last God knows how many years, trying to like reform a love for Regine and try and understand what makes it great. And she wrote me a beautiful letter explaining that she was never really a fan, but since seeing my reactions and me talking about Regine the way that I do, that she was actually beginning to really appreciate Regine, and then she started to become a fan, and now she loves Regine. And she went to go and see the 2 shows of Regine, which she might have not seen any of them had it not been for me. So I felt really good in that I gave somebody some inspiration to love the Queen and see her live. And I knew that because she missed out on the Silver concert as well, and she said to me that she wished she'd gone now. And it's nice that if Regine never performs again, she still got that chance to see her twice. And I feel good knowing that it was because of me that she's reignited this love for Regine and actually supported her, and I've kind of changed her opinion on it. So that's just one person I can think of. There might be other people out there who maybe likes Regine a little bit, but actually having watched my videos or seeing my appreciation for her, have actually gone, well, you know what, she's actually much better than I realised, blah blah blah. You okay, Poppy? You okay? Time is in. You are, darling. You're alright. It's okay. Yeah, so if I could make a difference just to some people's lives, then it makes all this worthwhile. In the same way that volunteering at Project Pearls, bringing joy to children's lives, that makes me feel good as well, knowing that I'm actually bringing joy, making children happy, trying to help educate them. Even though I don't speak Tagalog, it's just interesting trying to communicate with them. So wherever I can, I try and bring a smile. Jimson says, who's the little girl behind you? I'm very glad there's not actually a little girl behind me, because that was just after Halloween. That would terrify me. Oh my god. Oh my god. All I can think of with that you're looking at is this picture here is not a little girl. That's a picture of me when I was 1, 2. I was a baby. And I suppose you want to see the picture anyway. There's me when I was a little boy. Yes, I was blonde. Yes, I had curly hair. And yes, I look better. Probably look better then, don't I? Happy Kida says, would I consider living in the Philippines? Do you know what? Funny you mention that. I was thinking if I ever earned or won the lottery or got a load of money, would I buy a holiday home in the Philippines? And the answer is yes, I would. And I did look, albeit very briefly, at how much a house would cost me in the Philippines. And I can't remember how much it was now. It was basically like a massive house with a swimming pool, you know, a big, lovely home. And it was something really ridiculous. Like, over here would cost about, I don't know, £1.5 to £2 million, which is about... Ooh, let me Google this one because I have no idea. That's a big number. Let's have a looky. Oh, my uncle's just texted me saying he's watching me live. Hello, Uncle Roger. Okay. So, let's say we're going for £1.5 million. That would be the equivalent of 100,655,000 peso. That is a lot. But it wasn't that much. The cost of it was much less. It worked out... I mean, it's still a lot of money, don't get me wrong. But it's only a fraction. Probably what it costs to buy a normal house here. Just a regular, you know, a tenth of that. So what was it, maybe 10 million peso or something. Yeah, I was like, yeah, why not? Why not move to the Philippines? It's beautiful. It's warm. The people are lovely. And I'm closer to all my friends, and I'm closer to all the celebrities that I love. What could possibly go wrong? Andy says, Dan, how is it hearing the other female singers live? It was interesting because I didn't know they were coming out. So, obviously, the previous performance stopped or whatever it was. Regine was talking about something, I can't remember. And the stage went dark. There's no announcement, nothing. It was just, you're waiting for the next thing. And you start seeing these silhouettes coming out from back of the stage, and you're going, is that Regine? Who is that? And then I noticed there was more than one person, and then there was more than 2 people or 3 people, and there was 5. Again, no announcement of who they are, where they were standing. All I could see was just 5 silhouettes. Lights came up, and I knew then we had the other women. I knew Morissette was there somewhere. I just couldn't work out which one she was from where I was sat until they all started walking up to the front of the stage to sing their solo piece, or at least their duet with Regine. And it was incredible. I was excited to see... The only person I didn't know was... is it Aisal? Aisal? I didn't know who she was. I don't think I've seen her before, but the others I was familiar with. And knowing that I've reacted to them before, and they were all just stood there singing their pieces and stuff, and I was like, my God, I'm not just seeing Regine sing, I'm actually seeing Mario Set sing, Julianne San Jose, Joan Ellen, God, who's the other one now? Angeline Quinto, and obviously now Isal. I was quite fortunate because if she was there, she was good. There's no way she'd have been there and been rubbish. So to have these 5 women who are just unbelievably brilliant, all coming together with Regine, I mean, it was just like you were always hit in every direction with beautiful voices, belting notes, and I was like, oh my God, and it's one after the other. Every single one of them did an outstanding job. And then there was Regine as well. I mean, that's the one thing I liked about the concert. It wasn't, I mean, you go there to see Regine, it's obviously her concert, and you're celebrating with Regine. And, you go to any other concert in the world, can't think of anybody, One Direction, say, if you're into that. I'm not. But let's say, like One Direction, you go there and you see One Direction, and that's, I think, all you'd get. You go and see Regine, but you also get all these other singers as well who are genuinely amazing, and you're getting so much more for your money. It just makes it so much worth the while. And knowing that it may never happen again, and we witnessed this all together, was just an insane feeling. I can't quite describe. The atmosphere was just electrifying. And seeing them on stage all together was absolutely beautiful. I took so many pictures of them together. I think I posted one on my Instagram as well, so do go and check that out. Jasper says, how did you feel when you realised Regine was singing and walking towards my direction? Oh, do you know what? The moment she took that step down, the whole audience was like, it was so exciting. And then she started walking towards me, and I was getting more giddy and more giddy. And I was like, how much more is she going to come? Because the camera crew were right next to me. And I thought, she's not going to come that far because she won't be able to get past them. But how close is she going to come? Will she see me? And I was so hopeful that she might come a bit further, because she stopped for a moment, and I was like, come on, bit more, please, a little bit more. Sorry, guys. If you're just tuning in, I've got man flu, not feeling great. Hello, Poppy. How did you get there? Yeah, and then when she got that close, I mean, I was filming her, zoomed in a little bit just to kind of show how close I could get. And I thought, no, let's zoom out. So I zoomed out as far as I could go, just to show the reality of how close she was to me. And she was about 2.5, 3 meters from me. And I was like, oh my God, this is insane. And when she spotted me and waved, if you watch the footage back in the trailer, and she waves, you'll see the camera go like that. Because when she waved, I waved back like this, hence the camera shake, and I turned around to the lane, and I was like, this is amazing, she waved at me, she saw me, I was so excited. Oh my God. I need to call it a day, I've been talking too much. I know I should keep drinking, I've just run out of liquid now, I've just drank it all. Oh man. Okay, so I'm going to call it a day. I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions, but the vlog will be released on the 20th of November. If you are on Patreon, there's a link, not currently in the description box below, but there will be a link in the description box. I'll add it in a minute. To my Patreon page. I think once you sign up to that, it's like a $20 tier, which includes the travel vlogs earlier, so you get them on the 17th of November if you'll sign up to that. The vlogs will be exactly the same. There's no additional content for me on Patreon. You can just wait on YouTube if you want to. They'll be released on the 20th of November. And in the meantime, I'm going to go and recover, have a drink, and just stack up on meds, I think, because I could do with some. I think I'm actually due some meds. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this live show. Probably the most people have tuned in, like, ever for the longest period of time. So take care. Just want to answer this one question before I go. Jasper says, why on the 20th? Why not sooner? I have serious anxiety issues. The reason is I am still editing the vlogs. I've only done 7 so far. I'm expecting there to be about 15 or so. And also, the Croatia films that's currently on, there's 2 more parts left of that vacation, so the next free week is the 20th, so that's why it's the 20th. So, I'll love and leave you. I'll die in a corner and hopefully recover soon. So thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you very soon.